Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. I worked there for a decade, and I've been in private practice for 4 decades. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the home of the 5-minute or less video. I can tell you everything you need to know in 5 minutes. I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff where we got about 250 years of direct IRS work experience. Anyway, I do these YouTubes for 3 reasons. Number one, really the biggest reason, so you don't get ripped off. There's a lot of people reading scripts on YouTube, pretending to be knowledgeable, and if you're in the business and you work for IRS, you know better for a lot of these people. There's some good ones, but I'd say over 50% of the people are questionable. Anyway, I do this to educate you and to inform you, and you can always email me or leave me a comment. I'm happy to help you. And the reason I started this channel 2 years ago was to make sure that you really knew the truth about what was going on. I'm a national expert in IRS resolution matters. I've been on national TV, I don't know, maybe 12 times. In the last 3 months, I've been on 5 times. Anyway, let me just get to the point. How do you pay less with IRS? How are the different ways you can pay less? I'm going to go over some of them, and then I will so you know all the things. So let me go through the list of things. They're all in my head. I don't need to read scripts. The number one way to pay less with IRS is to do an offer and compromise. I taught the offer and compromise program in IRS. I'm a national expert in the IRS. I'm the IRS. I used to accept and deny offers. I've worked hundreds of them. I used to teach others at the IRS what to look for. So as soon as I look at your offer form, I'm going to tell you whether your offer is going to be accepted. That's the big way. It's the pennies on a dollar. It's all this programming. We can settle your tax debt, but be really, really careful about reaching out to all these companies. You're talking to salesmen. Ask the person who you're speaking to how many offers they got accepted. Find out when you submit them your financial statement, whether they tell you whether your offer is going to be accepted. Be very, very, very careful and do not get ripped off. I will say in the industry of debt settlement and offer and compromise, I'd probably believe 10% of the firms that I see actually are experts in this matter. This is a high ticket field. And there's a lot of money to be made. A lot of these companies are owned by hedge funds and other companies. You want to make sure if you're going to do an offer and compromise, you're speaking to a person who's filed offers, had them accepted, and they're going to review your personal financial statements, the IRS form, whether your offer is going to go through. That is the number one way to settle for less. The other ways are kind of ancillary. You can try to get penalty abatements. You can usually get abated some failure to file penalties and failure to pay penalties. You can do a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Most people don't know that. In a Chapter 7, there are statutory requirements. The taxes have got to be 3 years or older. They have to be filed for 2 years, and they've got to be assessed for 240 days. That's a way to completely discharge those taxes. Abating the penalties, like I said, is one, but you have to talk to maybe your accountant to see if that's possible. Penalty abatement is really big. You can go on my website, 777irs.com, and I have a whole thing on abatement of penalties and interest to do that. And another way that's really big is really to go ahead and maybe amend your tax return. If you've had a tax preparer, it's not a bad idea every 3 years to go ahead and have somebody else look at the return and see if they're wrong and to possibly get them amended. And the last way is the statute of limitations expires. Yay. It's 10 years from the initial date of the assessment. You can go to irs.gov, pull your transcripts up, and find out when that is. So once again, you can go ahead to statute below. You can file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. You can file an amended return. You can ask for penalties and interest abated. And the number one way, of course, is the offer and compromise. So anyway, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me. You can leave in the comment section. I'm happy to review your financial statement and tell you whether you have any chance of the offer and compromise. Do not get ripped off by people who telling you you can get your offer through. Most of these companies are bogus. Don't look at their website score. Don't look at their reviews. Don't look at that, because they can all be fixed. And if they're showing ads in Google, the first 4 spaces in Google are ads, and the last 3 are ads as well. If they're ads, be careful. Those are companies that are paying salesmen and advertising dollars. Make sure you're speaking to a true professional and not a salesman. Thank you much. Hey, if this was good, give me a subscription. I love subscriptions. That helps YouTube know I'm doing a good job. Leave me comments. I'm happy to help you. Thank you.